There's a rumor that won't die, that every beer a man drinks is slowly turning him into a woman. The story goes like this. Beer is full of estrogen, the female hormone, so drink enough and you'll grow what the internet lovingly calls man boobs. Millions of guys believe it. Half of them quietly switch to vodka because of it. Here's the problem. The estrogen in your beer is almost nothing. It's not the villain. And the thing that actually softens a man's body is something he's doing to himself, and it's hiding in plain sight. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what beer does to your hormones and the one change that reverses most of it. Let's start with where the rumor comes from, because it's not made up. Beer gets its bitterness from a plant called hops, and hops contain a compound with an intimidating name, 8-prenylnaringenin. We'll call it 8-PN. 8-PN is a phytoestrogen, a plant chemical that mimics estrogen in your body. And here's the wild part. It's the most powerful plant estrogen scientists have ever found, around 50 times stronger than the famous one in soy. 50 times. So, case closed, right? Beer is basically liquid estrogen? Not so fast, because most potent and enough to matter are two completely different things. The amount of 8-PN that actually survives into your glass of beer is tiny. We're talking trace amounts. There's a famous clue here. 100 years ago, women who picked hops by hand all day reported their cycles changing. Their skin was soaked in the raw plant. But you're not bathing in hops, you're drinking a beverage where the estrogen content is so low, researchers concluded it poses no real hormonal threat on its own. So if it's not the hops, why do beer-drinking men so often get softer, rounder, and yes, chestier? To understand it, meet the most important enzyme in this whole story. It's called aromatase, and it's a little factory inside your body with one job. It takes testosterone, the male hormone, and converts it directly into estrogen, the female one. Read that again. Your own body is constantly turning your testosterone into estrogen. That's normal. Every healthy man does it. It's a balance. The question isn't whether it happens, it's how fast it happens. And one thing speeds that factory up more than almost anything else: body fat. Fat tissue is packed with aromatase. The bigger the belly, the more factories you're running. More factories means more testosterone getting shredded into estrogen every single hour. And now connect the dots. What does beer drinking reliably build? A beer belly, which is a giant aromatase factory bolted to the front of your body. So, beer does feminize men, just not the way the rumor says. It's not the estrogen in the beer. It's the estrogen your own fat manufactures because of it. But fat is only the first hit. Beer attacks your hormones from two more directions at the same time. Hit number 2, alcohol directly suppresses how much testosterone your body makes. So while your fat is converting testosterone away, your factory upstream is producing less to begin with. Less testosterone made, more of it turned into estrogen. The balance isn't just shifting, it's collapsing on both ends. And hit number 3 is the quiet one. Meet your liver. One of its jobs is to clean leftover estrogen out of your blood and flush it away. But your liver is also the organ that processes alcohol. Flood it with beer night after night, and it gets overwhelmed and damaged. A struggling liver stops clearing estrogen efficiently, so it builds up. It gets stranger. A healthy liver barely makes aromatase at all, but a liver damaged by heavy drinking starts switching that factory on, making even more estrogen right where it's supposed to be removing it. So that's the real picture. 3 separate hits, all from the same glass. More estrogen from your fat, less testosterone from your tank, and a liver that both stops clearing estrogen and starts making it. The hops were never the story. Which finally answers the thing you came here for, the man boobs. The medical name is Gynecomastia, real breast tissue growing in men. And it grows when the estrogen to testosterone ratio tips far enough toward estrogen for long enough. Look at what we just built. Fat raising estrogen, alcohol lowering testosterone, the liver letting estrogen pile up. That is the exact recipe for the ratio to flip. The chest is just where the body shows the receipt. And notice a lot of what looks like man boobs on a heavy beer drinker is also just fat sitting on the chest. So it's often both at once, real hormonal change and simple fat. Beer is feeding both. Now the good news, because this is the part nobody tells you. Almost all of this is reversible, and you don't have to quit beer to start.
Drop the body fat and you tear down most of those aromatase factories. The conversion slows. Give your liver nights off and it goes back to clearing estrogen and stops making its own. Cut the volume, fewer beers, fewer nights, and your testosterone production climbs back up. The ratio tips back toward normal. The body is forgiving when you stop overwhelming it. So, is beer turning men into women? The hops? No, that's a myth. But heavy, daily drinking absolutely shifts a man's hormones toward estrogen through your fat, your testosterone, and your liver. One beer with friends isn't your enemy. A beer belly built over years is.